Ifan strides up to the Magister, speaking in a calm and controlled voice. Though you can't hear what he whispers, the Magister's face turns whiter than snow as he hands a note to Ifan with shaking hands.
Don't! I'll give you the information. Here, just don't! All right.
Ifan walks back to you, leaving the quivering wreck of a Magister behind. When he catches your eye, he winks.
Shove off, cannibal.
He grumbles low under his breath. The guard clenches his fists and cracks his neck in agitation.
Move, now! Move, move, move!
Ifan catches you looking over at him. He raises his eyebrows.
What? Oh, it's just practice. All in the way you set your jaw, lass. I'll teach you someday. I only do it when it's necessary. And it was necessary back there. He wanted me to kill someone. I didn't want to kill them. Being a little impolite seemed the least bad option. An elf, like you. An innocent. But if you're about done with the lecture, let's keep moving.
After reading the scrap of paper he took from the Magister, Ifan marks a spot on your map and looks out to the far horizon.
Shove off!
Hey. Hi.
in their right mind would think of a thing like this?
He hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
Hey, lady. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. One, two, longer than a cruise. 3, 4, 7.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further. If you really must know, I haven't quite decided yet. I've a frightful amount of things on my mind, hence my standing here contemplating the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities, and shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. Of course, it's rather specific. Quite obviously, I'm musing over the very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the Seven have mercy on their own creation. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World Tamer, the spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessed... Jolly good. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic and, yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Yes, I'm still here, contemplating my throne. Then by all means, dash.
He watches you depart without another word.
I know you.
Stare at the slain beasts and comment that they must have been the cause of the shipwreck.
They didn't put up much of a fight. Dry land mustn't suit them.
It was good to see some of them bleed after what they did to the ship.
Good riddance.
Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
The ravaged among the ruins. That is all we are in Fort Joy.
Are you certain you want to dismiss your companion?
If we have different paths to take.
Yes, I'm still here, truly. Fine. On one, for reasons I've reason to believe, jolly good. Now, as your luck would have, of course, there are other...
I've spotted something. I need a shovel.
Here lies a nameless inmate. May he find the peace denied him in life in the Hall of Echoes.
One must put in due effort if one is to reap the proper reward.
Tired of the view in here yet?
Seeming surprised, Ifan gladly takes...
Ah, that hit the spot.
He holds the flagon out to you. The alcohol hits you like the void itself. Your head...
This reminds me of Shep. So tell me, if we weren't stuck here, what would you be not what I'd choose for myself, but you do you. Relic of flame. That brew went straight to my bladder.
Here lies a nameless inmate. May he find the peace denied him in life in the Hall of Echoes.
I wonder where this leads.
You walk up to a skeleton unlike any you have ever seen before. His skull seems to be carved into intricate patterns with a gemstone sitting in the middle of his forehead. Approaching, you hear a profane rumble from the undead beast.
Bugger.
How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Actually, you don't seem half as threatening as those creatures in red. Run along, won't you? I have business to attend to. Nowhere in this world is safe. The people of this world do not take kindly to bare bone. Thus, I find myself seeking a face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you? You have never seen anything like it because you have never met anyone like me. Simply put, I am an Eternal, and you are not. You have my sympathies. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather absent. At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, splendid. Although, it seems you already have quite a pack. Perhaps you should try discarding some grit before you help yourself to a pearl.
Are you certain you want to dismiss your companion? Are you certain you want...
Oh, really now? Well, well, well. I guess this makes us mortal enemies. For now, at least.
You again? Can't you see I'm rather busy?
He lifts the corpse's eyelids, peering...
It could be worse. I suppose. You seem more... Very well.
The Magister doesn't notice you. Her thoughts seem far, far away from Fort Joy. You hated your work for the Order. You wanted to be a stonemason, marry the baker. You still dream about it every night.
A little reprieve from the din outside.
Saheila, you are all right.
I am fine, Amiro. I am fine. I know they help us.
Yes, they do. It is. She breaks into a huge, childlike grin as you approach.
One friend brings another home. Thank you.
Her face falls at the mention of her home. Her hands fly instinctively to her eyes, as if to wipe away tears. But she stops herself.
My people, I miss them, but they cannot save me. Homeland is gone. Home is wherever my people are. My mother is amongst them. Tova, a great elf. I do not mind Fort Joy, but I miss her very much. Yes, it is a deep hurt. In my tribe, we say, the heart lives in the family cookpot. It is true, I think. It is not to be. We stay in Fort Joy. They stay elsewhere. This is the way. This is the only... Thank you, my friend. But only you survive the passage. I see it. You are free. We must remain. I see your heart. You want only to help. But if you want to help me, you must go alone.
She squeezes your hand.
I do not forget you. Remember me too. Amiro.
You're too slow! You can't get me!
It is good. I see it.
I'll stab you right in the eye! Wait, I call a timeout!
This is very good. Sahela is all right. I still protect her. Thank you. Do not forget what I ask of you. Sahela cannot stay here. She is too important. I heal. We count on you still. To tell the elves who remain, the elves who roam, to bring them here. She is very special. She sees how we will survive. The Voidwoken, the dead divine. She leads us back home. All of luck to you. Do not forget what I give you. We have help. We survive. And soon we leave.
I'll stab you right in the eye! I magicked you, you're dead!
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Our kind of few here. We must help each other. To be vulnerable in a place like this is tough. You may keep your shame for yourself. An open heart knows the difference between right and wrong. It is not wrong to walk in the camp. It is wrong to assault one walking. You walk among the humans too long if you think differently. I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through the Magisters, through their cure. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special... Thank you.
You're too slow! Wait, I call a timeout!
We have help. We survive. And soon we leave.
You cover your face with your hands. You've just heard the news. The elven homelands have been destroyed by death fog. It was your order who did it. How can this be?
I magicked you! You're dead!
You are quite safe. I am so glad.
Whoever kills the other is the boss! Wait! I call a timeout!
Tired of the view in here yet?
He freezes and shoots you a wary glance, looking for all the world like a wild animal.
Well, why not? Go ahead. That I did. In Lucian's own army. Yeah. Stay out of their way. From the rank and file to the top brass, they're as ruthless as the wildest lone wolf. But the difference? A wolf never tries to hide what he truly is. There's a reason I don't wear Order garb anymore. But I don't like to talk about those days. Thanks for understanding. Now, let's keep moving.
The child ignores you and continues with her game.
I'm playing Helene, hero of the whole world. That was my mum's name. She died when the Voidwoken came.
Suddenly, the child's face crinkles into a grimace. She seems on the verge of sobbing when her face suddenly goes still and blank.
Got you! I got you!
State your business. Do, but I'll be watching. You, the Red Demon, the exiled pig. I'd heard they'd sent you here, but I'd hoped you'd have drowned yourself before crossing my path. Bow before pigs and you'll be stained with mud. I do not bow before pigs.
Soon I am quite well again. Then we make another attempt.
You go.
I'll stab you right in the eye! You can't get me!
What's this? I found something.
This hole is too small for you to squeeze into.
I need to dig here.
I am not opposed to manual labor if circumstances require.
Help! What in the world are you? A millennium? Can it be? You're an elf, then? Remarkable, truly. I'd only heard of your kind from the stories. It is a pleasure to meet you. Strange to think it's been so long since I've been trapped here. So long since I've seen a living soul. A wicked king, it was. Brachus Rex by name. The Order of the Source Hunters discovered a great horror upon this prison isle, and I was sent to stop it. Yet my failure was absolute. I am not fit to bear the insignia of the Source Hunters any longer. Please, good lady, you must free me. Prise this spear from my chest, where it has been stuck fast for the last 1,000 years. Seize the spear. End this degradation. I beg you.
Ugh, it's stuck fast.
Can it be a lizard? I never thought I'd see the day. Do you understand me, sir? Oh, no, I dare say I ought to enunciate. Can you help me? 700 years. Can it have been so long already? I haven't seen a living soul in all that time. A wicked king it was. Yet my failure was absolute. Please, good sir, you must free me. Pride, seize the spear. Please, good sir.
I got it.
Good, a spell most terrible. I have heard of such magic, but have never known anyone so foul as to employ it. Brachus Rex, may maggots lace his entrails. After he interred me in this cell, he must have drawn my very soul away from me and stored it elsewhere in the fort. Thus he has bound me entirely to the mundane realm. But I know this place well. I could lead you to its likely location. In turn, you would find a path straight out of this fort. My freedom for yours. What say you? Marvelous, my friend. Marvelous. You'll first have to get inside the fort itself. There's a secret switch on a statue of the Seven in the courtyard. Surely you know it. The switch will open a hatch, and you'll be led into the prison's main floor. I suspect that within Brachus's phylactery room, you will find the container which ensnares my soul. He has likely disguised it well, but search there for another hidden switch. Brachus would have made me a supplicant, a slave to these walls. With your help, I'll die. At last. With dignity. Fort Joy is a dangerous place, my friend. Dangerous indeed. Brachus used this place to build an arsenal of terrible weaponry as yet unseen in our world. Here, he and his researchers crafted punishments and snares contrary to human dignity. Objects that could contain souls, wands that could purge the very essence from sorcerers. My order would never have used such barbaric magic against our enemies. Good sir, you have set my body free, free to crumble to dust at last. But my spirit, blast! Then you may be glad you have escaped the curse of Brachus Rex. After he interred me in this cell, he must have... But I know this place well. Marvelous, my friend. The switch will open a hatch. Brachus would have made me a supplicant, a slave to these walls. Death without your soul is no death at all, my friend. Good madam, you have set my body free. There was no intrigue for me. There was only suffering. Lifetime upon lifetime of suffering. After he interred me in this... But I know this place well. Marvelous, my... The switch. Brachus would have made me a...
bolted on there tight, ain't it?
As you approach the blacksmith, you feel a bony hand on your arm. Fane leans in and whispers in your ear.
If it would be acceptable, I have an inquiry for this human. It is of a personal nature. And if it would not be acceptable, well, that would render this entire conversation rather awkward.
Fane approaches the blacksmith and quietly speaks to her. You can't overhear much, but he seems to be gesturing towards her head an awful lot. Fane's words are quiet, but you hear the blacksmith repeat, "Face ripper," in shock. She slowly starts to back away.
What is it with creeps like you and Master Niles? I told him to slither back to his dungeon, and you can get too, freak!
Fane backs away, scratching his head. It seems that didn't go as he'd expected. He is lost in thought, though. She must have said something he found interesting.
Is it not enough that you travel with me? Must you speak too? Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it. Oh, I think of them as little as possible. As much, I imagine, as you think of gadflies that buzz about you. Not that there is anything wrong with you, of course, just that you're, well, not all that impressive. As impeccably mundane as I have come to expect from this world. Regardless, further study will be required. In fact...
The skeleton pulls a notebook from his robes and starts scribbling. After a moment, he pauses and looks back to you.
Sorry, do carry on. Just act as you do in your natural environment. Simply pretend I'm not here. Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it. The Mask of the Shapeshifter? In my time, it was nothing more than a novelty. A toy, really. I crafted one for my child once. She spent the day trying to convince me that she was her mother, even though the face I used looked nothing like her. Of course, now that toy could be the difference between life and... well, it makes a difference. With that mask, I can shapeshift and walk through this world looking like any other simple mortal. I could look like a lizard, a dwarf, a human, any creature whose face I can procure. It certainly makes traveling through towns easier. Trust you bloody-minded beasts to turn a child's trinket into a wicked purpose. People like you are the reason it must be recovered. I am using the mask to keep myself safe from the violence of this world. Who knows what evil it could do in the hands of some mortal witch? Fear? Please. Why would I fear these creatures? It's a practical choice, nothing more. Moving through this world is so much easier when you don't have to lecture some torch-wielding lunatics on the dangers of an open flame. Oh, it's quite simple. One just acquires a face, a source orb, and combines the two to make a face mask. Combining several of these single face masks along with a source orb will produce a mask of the shapeshifter. Frankly, I'm amazed everyone isn't doing it. Oh, of course there are. How many hundreds of thousands of you people have died over the years? Almost all of them seem to have been disposed of while still wearing perfectly serviceable faces. It's a terrific waste. Still, without the proper tool to remove the face from a corpse, I cannot take advantage of the many cadavers you're providing. So if you happen across anything that seems capable of ripping a face off a body, please do let me know. Ah, this is perhaps the first intelligent question you have asked. After all, one should always try to learn from one's betters. My people are a race far beyond anything that exists in the world today. We seek to master the secrets of the universe. We craft wonders to last through the ages, long after your crude tools have rusted to nothing. There is a great variety among our people. Some are tall and lithe, others short and muscled. Some come in a variety of eye-catching colors. Others you can barely see at all. This is what makes you such an abomination, you see. You look almost exactly like every other elf out there, just as every human looks like every other human. Walking through this world is as repulsively bland as staring at a wall for a century. After a while, the very sight of you disgusts me. No offense, of course. I do not know. There are rumors that some have been found at the Black Pits, an oil field on Reaper's Coast. I was trying to uncover the truth when I was waylaid by these Magisters. But wherever the artifacts of my people are, I will find them. We have not simply vanished into thin air. Ignorant! I dare say I have a better knowledge of this world than any creature living in it. Oh, I may be missing some social mores or be unaware of what king waged which war, but why nitpick? Waiting for a letter is tedious. What I have gone through is torture. Your history is an interminably dull list of mortals that were born, achieved nothing of worth, and then died. Certainly one may have expanded his kingdom, or another invented some way of pickling fish, but what does it matter? Where will your kingdoms be in 100 years? In 1,000? They will all be dust, along with each and every one of your great heroes. Your people and nations come and go, mayflies screaming their importance at a universe that cannot listen. But the universe is always there. The laws that govern your states change over centuries, but the laws of the world... Even when my people walked this land, a dropped apple still fell to the ground. I have yet to see the mortal king that can decree all apples must fall up from their trees, or order fire to produce cold instead of heat. No, these laws stretch to infinity. Understanding them lets you understand the world. That is knowledge worth having. Everything else is arguing over who has built the prettiest sandcastle as the waves creep closer.
Yes. Is it an audience you desire? As am I. A prince should die of old age or on the battlefield. Anything else could be construed as weakness of character. That said, I've the distinct feeling I wasn't meant to die today, for despite your heroics, I was still cast into the water. I sank. I drowned. But there was something in the water. A voice made of air that soothed my flooding lungs. There was sudden light, warmth, life. Truly, how intriguing. To hear a voice whilst drowning is a rather specific delusion to share, is it not? Still, I wonder if...
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person? I'm rather relieved to hear it. Religious persons tend to be all too self-important in their supposed humility. As for myself, I perform the ancient rites of prayer and ceremony with a kind of languid indulgence. After all, when one is revered by many as a living god oneself, public deprecation would be needlessly self-important as well, wouldn't you say? There was a small incident which prompted my many rivals to move against me. Technically, they had the letter of the law on their side. Such a nuisance, the law. Quite necessary to keep the common in line, of course, but one such as myself it should exempt as a matter of course. Notice that, did you? For future reference, if I don't answer a question, it's because I don't want to. I hardly know you as yet. Let's leave some mystery in the relationship, shall we? We can exchange criminal records later.
What's it now? I already bruised my arse trying to help your little friend. And? Got no reason to scramble out, me. It's hot and busy out there. It's cool and quiet in here. Or at least, it used to be. See ya!
The entire realm from divine, damned chaos.
Please. Gods know how much blood you have on your hands now. You can't let them go. This is our only hope against the Voidwoken. I ought to feed you to my hounds for this treachery. Sorcerer! What do you think you're doing, prowling around inside the fort? Ha! That's almost cute.
He looks you up and down.
Too bad there's not a bit of meat to you. I need aid.
Who are you? Who are you? Get out of here! Where are the guards? Guards, help! All right, I just... They do terrible things here. If they think for a second I'm trying to escape again, they'll do to me what they did to him. There are always more. Don't you know that? I've seen what they do to people. Well, not seen, heard. There's a man over there. They tortured him, questioned him. Seekers, something about Godwoken. He didn't know anything, but they didn't care. I heard his screams. I heard something eating him from the inside. No, no, no. It can't happen to me. It can't. It can't. It can't. It can't. Outside, the bones are gnashing. In here, the Magisters are cutting, slicing, grinding, smashing. What to do? What to do? Poor thing. Poor fool. I hope it's an easy death, then.
look undo her? This place? Well, the fleas seem very happy, at the very least.
Look at you, all enthusiastic and everything.
You're very... Oh, good. That's for you, then. Bye-bye, Flea Scratcher, my Bob.
Poor you. Poor... Who are you? Who are you? You get out of here! Where are the guards? What? No. No! I won't go! I won't go! You can't silence me! God! You'll see. They'll get their hands on you and then... Any minute now they'll come. Any minute.